Have you ever wondered why some people seem to grow their wealth with ease, while others hustle nonstop and never seem to get ahead financially? It's not luck. The wealthy often follow a strategy most people never learn. Today, I'm lifting the curtain and breaking down the key elements of that hidden strategy. We're going to look at 10 financial traps that slowly bleed your money without you even realizing it. These aren't just poor choices, they're money pits, disguised as smart moves or social status markers. While the average person buys into them, wealthy individuals often steer clear, and that's a big reason why they stay ahead. Each one of these financial drains is part of a system designed to shift your earnings into someone else's bank account. And the final one on this list, it's probably right outside your house. Let's break them down so you can start avoiding these silent money leaks today. Let's begin with one of the biggest culprits, brand new cars. They might look great and smell even better, but financially, they're a rough deal. As soon as you drive off the lot, your shiny new ride can drop 15% in value instantly. That's like tossing thousands of dollars into the wind. Over 5 years, that shiny car you paid $40,000 for might be worth under $20,000. But if you took out a loan, you're still paying monthly based on the original price, plus interest, which could push your total cost past $50,000 over time, all while the car keeps losing value. Wealthy people tend to avoid this trap. Take Warren Buffett, for example, a billionaire who drove a used car for years. That's because people who understand money know vehicles are expenses, not wealth-building tools. They lose value fast. A smarter move? Buy a car that's 2 or 3 years old with low mileage. Models like the Toyota Camry or Honda Accord offer the same tech and comfort as the newest version, but at a fraction of the price, and they often still come with a warranty. You could save $10,000 or more just by thinking ahead. And if you're tempted to buy new anyway, pause and run the numbers. That same $40,000, if invested in a basic index fund and left to grow for 20 years, could turn into nearly $200,000. Is the temporary thrill of a new car really worth missing out on that kind of future? And believe it or not, this is just the beginning. If you think a car is a costly mistake, wait until you hear about the next budget trap. Turning your vacations into investments. Timeshares often sound like a dream come true, a cozy spot you can return to every year, but beneath the surface, they can turn into a financial trap that's nearly impossible to escape. It usually starts with a hefty upfront payment, often around $20,000 or more, but that's just the beginning. What many people don't realize is that timeshares come with annual maintenance fees that steadily climb, starting around $800 and often rising to $2,000 or more, whether you use the property or not. When owners finally try to sell, they face a harsh reality. Almost no one wants to buy. The market is flooded with desperate sellers willing to give away their timeshares for pennies, or even pay others to take over their contracts. Robert from Miami experienced this firsthand when he attempted to sell his Florida timeshare for $15,000. After originally paying $30,000 5 years earlier, without a single offer. Meanwhile, financially smart travelers simply book vacations when they want, using platforms like Airbnb, VRBO, or discounted hotel deals, enjoying updated accommodations and avoiding the burden of never-ending fees. If you're already trapped in a timeshare, there are companies that can help you exit, but their services often come at a steep cost. Prevention, as always, is far cheaper than trying to fix a bad decision later. Before signing any long-term contract, ask yourself whether it gives you true flexibility or locks you into a costly obligation. Speaking of costly illusions, spending thousands of dollars on designer clothes and luxury accessories might make you look successful for a moment, but it often hides deeper financial struggles. Many people showing off expensive bags, watches, and outfits are actually drowning in debt, trading real financial security for temporary appearances. In contrast, many self-made millionaires live modestly, dress simply. Think of Mark Zuckerberg's plain gray shirts or Warren Buffett still living in the same house he bought decades ago. They understand that building wealth is about owning assets, not flaunting status. That $500 pair of shoes isn't just about the immediate price. If invested in a broad index fund with an 8% annual return, it could grow to over $20,000 in 20 years. Buying on a credit card makes it even worse when you add 18% interest. This doesn't mean you should never own something beautiful or high quality. It's about timing and priorities. If a luxury item costs more than 1% of your net worth, it's probably too early to buy it. Smart shoppers use resale platforms like The Real or Vestiaire Collective to score authentic luxury items at a fraction of the cost, or use rental services like Rent the Runway to enjoy designer fashion without the long-term price tag. Then there's the lottery and gambling, a financial trap disguised as entertainment. Every year, Americans spend billions chasing the dream of instant riches, but the odds are brutally against them. You're statistically far more likely to be struck by lightning than win the jackpot. On average, Americans spend about $400 a year on lottery tickets. If that money were instead invested monthly into an index fund with an 8% annual return, it would grow to over $50,000 in 30 years. Sarah from Ohio realized this too late, having spent over $15,000 on tickets across 12 years with no real winnings to show for it. Wealthy people don't throw money at nearly impossible odds. They make strategic bets on investments like real estate, stocks, and businesses, where they have control and better chances. If you crave the thrill of gambling, allocate a tiny portion, no more than 1 to 2% of your disposable income, purely for entertainment. Better yet, consider investing platforms that offer the excitement of growing your money with actual returns over time. Finally, few things destroy financial health faster than credit card debt. That small piece of plastic can silently sabotage your future, especially with average interest rates hovering around 20%. Even a relatively small balance can snowball out of control. A $5,000 credit card debt, if you only make minimum payments, can take over 15 years to pay off and end up costing you more than $10,000 in interest. Dave from Boston learned this painful lesson after racking up $7,000 on furniture and electronics, eventually paying more than $16,000 after years of minimum payments. Credit card companies design minimum payments to keep you trapped for as long as possible while they collect massive profits. The financially savvy use credit cards strictly as tools, paying their balance in full each month to earn rewards without ever falling into debt. If you're currently carrying a balance, focus on eliminating it as fast as possible, because every dollar you free from high-interest debt is a dollar you can invest into your future instead of giving it to the banks. Many savvy credit card users take advantage of benefits like air miles, cash back, and fraud protection, but pay the full balance every month religiously, thus transforming a potential trap into an advantageous tool. Cards like Chase Freedom or Citi Double Cash can offer 2% or more return on all purchases, but only if you never pay a penny in interest. Let me ask you something. Did you already know about these financial traps we've covered so far, or has any of this information surprised you? I'm truly curious. Drop a quick comment below saying "knew it," or "that's new to me." I read every comment, and it helps me create better content for you. Now back to our list. If you're already trapped in debt, there's a way out. Adopt the avalanche method, focusing on the card with the highest interest rate first while making minimum payments on others. Once the first is paid off, redirect that amount to the next, creating a snowball effect. Apps like Undebt.it or Tiller Money can help organize this process and keep you motivated as you see the progress. Now, while credit card debt might seem obvious, our sixth wealth destroyer often comes disguised as a path to success, a costly credential that millions of Americans are still paying for decades after they receive it. The advice, go to college, get a good job, passed down from generation to generation, is increasingly outdated. With the average cost of a 4-year degree exceeding $100,000, many young people are leaving university with degrees that don't guarantee jobs and debts that will follow them for decades. The average student debt in the U.S. is a staggering $37,000 per person, with many graduates in specific areas owing more than $100,000. The problem is that depending on the field of study, starting salaries can be so low that they make it almost impossible to pay off this amount in a reasonable time. Jennifer graduated in visual arts with $60,000 in debt, and her first job paid only $32,000 annually. After 5 years, she still owed more than when she graduated. The real problem isn't education itself, but the imbalance between cost and return. Financially wise people analyze the ROI, return on investment, of any education. They ask critical questions. Will this degree really increase my income? Is there a more accessible path to this career? Could I learn these skills more economically? Smart alternatives are rapidly growing. Certification programs in technical areas like IT, web development, or data analysis often cost less than $10,000 and can lead to starting jobs paying $60,000 or more. Community colleges offer the first 2 years of education for a fraction of the cost of traditional universities, and online platforms like Coursera, edX, and LinkedIn Learning provide quality courses for hundreds, not thousands of dollars. If you're already considering higher education, do your research. Sites like PayScale and the Bureau of Labor Statistics show average salaries by career and educational level. Compare programs from different institutions and consider starting at a community college before transferring to a university for the final years. Scholarships, federal aid, and employer reimbursement programs can also dramatically reduce costs. At least with education, you're investing in your own skills and potential, but our seventh wealth destroyer is even more baffling. People spending small fortunes on items they rarely use, that constantly lose value, and actually create more work and stress in their lives. There's an old joke in the nautical world. The 2 best days in a boat owner's life are the day they buy it and the day they sell it. Behind this joke lies a financial truth many discover too late. Boats, vacation homes, and other luxury items are financial black holes disguised as status symbols. The true cost of these items goes far beyond the purchase price. A $50,000 boat will easily cost another $5,000 to $10,000 annually in maintenance, insurance, storage, fuel, and repairs. And the worst part is most sit idle for over 90% of the time. Mike from Tampa bought his dream for $65,000, only to discover he used it just 8 days a year, resulting in a real cost of nearly $2,000 per day of use. Meanwhile, financially savvy people take a completely different approach. They rent luxury instead of buying it. Why spend $50,000 on a boat when you can rent one for $400 to $600 per day the few times you actually want to sail? Apps like Get My Boat, Boat Setter, and Freedom Boat Club let you enjoy the experience without the financial nightmare of ownership. The math is relentless. That $50,000 boat with $5,000 annual maintenance costs for 10 years represents a total expenditure of $100,000. If that same amount were invested in an ETF with an average annual return of 8%, you would have about $215,000 after the same period. The crucial question is, are those few days on the lake really worth $115,000 of your future? For those who truly love exclusive experiences, many people believe a wedding must be grand and expensive to be meaningful. But the truth is, there's no link between how much you spend and how happy or lasting your marriage will be. In fact, studies show that couples who spend less on their weddings often enjoy longer, more stable marriages. Take Jennifer and Michael from Boston, for example. They chose an intimate $5,000 ceremony and used the $25,000 they saved as a down payment on their first home, which significantly appreciated in just 5 years. The real issue isn't celebrating love. It's sacrificing your financial future for one single day. Those $30,000 spent on a wedding, if instead invested at age 30 with an average 8% annual return, could grow to over $450,000 by retirement at 65. Ask yourself, is it really worth trading nearly $500,000 for a few hours of flowers, catering, and a DJ? Financially smart couples are redefining what it means to have an unforgettable wedding. They're focusing on meaning over spectacle, experiences over extravagance, choosing weekday ceremonies, unique venues like parks or museums, digital invitations, and minimalist decor can easily cut costs in half without losing any of the magic. If you're planning a wedding, start by setting a firm maximum budget before you even begin researching venues or vendors. Golden rule: never spend more than you can pay in full without jeopardizing your long-term financial goals. Free budgeting tools from sites like Zola and WeddingWire can help you stay on track. On a scale of 1 to 10, how helpful was this advice for your financial journey? Drop your rating in the comments and let me know which wealth trap you're planning to eliminate first. Remember, while most people are busy buying the illusion of wealth, you now have the knowledge to build the real thing. Your future self is counting on you to make smart decisions today.